I declare this FAP-worthy.
Abu Ghazaleh. I'm running for Congress in the 9th District of Illinois. And the Department of Justice is charging 6 people, including myself, with federal crimes for exercising our First Amendment rights near ICE's Broadview Processing Center. This is a political prosecution and a gross attempt to silence dissent, a right protected under the First Amendment. This case is a major push by the Trump administration to criminalize protest and punish anyone who speaks out against them. That's why I'm going to fight these unjust charges, but I need your help to do it. As I and others have exercised our First Amendment rights, ICE has hit, dragged, thrown, shot with pepper balls, and tear gassed hundreds of protesters, simply because we had the gall to say that masked men coming into our communities, abducting our neighbors, and terrorizing us cannot be our new normal. And because Chicago doesn't back down from bullies in masks who tear gas our neighborhoods, this administration has resorted to weaponizing the federal justice system to scare us into silence. But we're not going to be silent. The Trump administration wants you to be afraid of speaking out against it and its anti-democratic power grabs. And there are plenty of reasons to be afraid right now, but we have to overcome that fear. This case targets our rights to protest, speak freely, and associate with anyone who disagrees with the government. And while we have seen the unhinged and unlawful tactics this administration has used against the American public, it's important to remember they're doing this because they are scared. They are wrong. And they know they are on the wrong side of history. We cannot diminish ourselves in the face of these attacks. That's why we have to unite and stand up for humanity, our rights, and everyone terrorized by Trump's lawless secret police. You'll be hearing regular updates directly from me about this case and how we can use our constitutional rights to resist authoritarianism. And as scary as all of this is, I have spent my career fighting America's backslide into fascism. I'm not going to stop now, and I hope you won't either.
For you. Thank you so much. So before this song, every night on this tour, I've had, you know what I'm like, I've got a fucking big mouth, I can't fucking keep it shut. And this song is, this is the title track to our 4th record, Bleed Like Me. This song has become a little bit of an anthem, and I have never felt more proud of it in my life than on this tour. This is a song essentially about the othering of other people and how crazy it is that we are being encouraged by the oligarchs and the billionaires to hate one another. We're being encouraged to be judgmental, we're being encouraged to be cruel, we're being encouraged to feel fearful of other people, we're being encouraged to think that other people are our enemy. And I've never felt more desolate in my life about watching what's unfurling, not only here in America, not only in Scotland or the UK, it's all over the world. This is like the last ditches of the old world. The old world is dying, a new world is being born, and we unfortunately, we as human beings are getting caught up in this changeover where lots of old, rich white men are really fucking angry. And I'm not entirely sure why they're so angry. They're so rich, they can do anything they want. Like, nobody's fucking with their world, but they are fucking with our world. They're fucking with our people. They're fucking with our neighbors, our friends, our fucking children. When you see children being rounded up in Chicago, of all places, fucking Chicago, in the middle of the night, 3 years old, being zip-tied, this has to stop. It has to stop, because if they're going after 3-year-olds, you think you're all fucking safe? You are fucked, my friends, if we don't put a stop to this right the fuck now.
the serpent. Beware the oldest lie. Begrudge our brother for existing on the wrong side of an imaginary line. Between two worlds, belligerent in the name of the tribe, I beseech you to believe in more than the light reflecting off of these shells we occupy. Because the truth is, we're all the same. Beneath the surface, we all wanna find our way and find our purpose. We're all the same. We carry our own burdens. We all never cross to bear, and we hope the wait is worth it. Believer of the line, be gone from me and mine. Be ready to fight and bleed, become the truth that they despise. Because they only seek to divide. With venom that besets us on all sides. Yeah, they say, beware the bestial horde. Best believe they'll besiege your lands and come for you and yours. That's a lie. Beneath the surface, we all wanna find our way and find our purpose. We're all the same. We carry our own burdens. We all never cross to bear. We hope the way is worth it. But only cowards wanna burn it. Only cowards wanna burn it. We all have a cross to bear, but only cowards wanna burn it.
Snyder cut motherfuckers want to get on a line now? Anybody? I think so.
Forced adversity.
Hey everybody, hi. Whoa, I'm little. I'm gonna get big. Whoop. And join some folks with me here.
Hey,
We're all big.
How do you?
We're so big. Yay.
How do you feel inside of Mike Johnson's burner phone?
Not as good as I feel inside of Mike Johnson, I'll tell you that. It was right there. I went for it. I'm sorry.
Hey, no, I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Yeah. So what's going on with Mike Johnson? What's the Mike Johnson report?
You know, it just seems like he's got a lot of free time these days. You know, He's not working. His coworkers aren't working.
That's interesting. That's kind of it's weird that we say that because that's what our show's about today.
Right.
We're going to go ahead and just disprove the stupid idea that this has anything to do with Democrats being at fault.
Yeah.
And far be it from us to be like the Democrat defense squad. Okay.
I really don't want to be.
But facts are facts.
And the facts are that they are using a couple of specific wedge issues. Surprise. And you won't be surprised which wedge issues they are. They're
No,
classics.
you will not.
But we're going to go ahead and just, disprove that it's really anything except they're just lying. All they have is lies and malice. I put it in the thumbnail, and it's just true.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Republican Party, the average GOP congressperson can't say good morning without lying twice, which is very weird. You think they got one right, but it's just like they say good morning while this, it's the middle of the night and the moon's out and the wolves are howling. You got to
think that, like, technically, the Republican politicians just lie simply by being politicians, because most of them don't believe government should really exist. So, like,
right, yeah, just they're taking the job, right?
Fraudulent endeavor, essentially, like, as far as their beliefs, and
that's true, yeah.
And then they open their mouths, and it's just lies. In this case, it's we got the classic, the good old transing kids classic. That's making it always makes a resurgence right at these convenient moments. Convenient for them. It
really does. Yeah.
I watched a video by a channel called Channel 100 with Evie something or other. She's like I think she's a Kiwi chick, New Zealander, and I don't know, I'm not sure. Sounds like it, but she does. She covers a lot of American centric topics, and she went pretty deep into the idea that all this trans panic. She basically mapped the growth of it from like the 2015 Target bathroom stuff.
Yeah.
And that didn't play out like they really wanted it to, so they kind of went on. They moved it to legislation as well as sports.
Yeah, the bathroom thing did not work. Just think of like in 2015, 2014, like they moved basketball tournaments out of North Carolina because of their anti-trans bathroom bills.
It's crazy.
Imagine any major institution doing that now. It's it won't happen, right?
Yeah, that's cool, man. I hope you're able to stick with being able to hold them accountable. We tried that, and then apparently you just get elected president and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I wish you all the best of luck.
Truly.
Don't worry. Nuremberg,
because we know that this shit is exported from America, so we're ruining the world after us first. So
yeah, not to worry. Nuremberg 2.0 Electric Boogaloo is on the way. It's inevitable. So that's all. We all just have to survive. We all have to help each other through the dark times, and we will get our justice eventually.
I was just watching a video that was by Legia Miller. If you're familiar with her, she's got a great channel. Yeah. She's a lawyer that does law stuff, and she's pretty good. She was talking about the actual Nuremberg trials, and there actually really weren't a lot of convictions out of that.
No.
Because essentially once they started looking at it, they're like, well, because there were millions and millions of co-conspirators.
Right. Yeah.
Lots of people were involved with the Nazi Party. And so I think there was only like, I don't know, 25 executions and then like a couple dozen, long prison sentences or whatever. And then, a lot of those guys, they just got to go live in like South America and stuff. Good times.
So, right. But the important thing is that there was an accountability process. That's the important thing. And if that, I could see the argument for not convicting and imprisoning an entire nation. That would be kind of
Well, I mean, the stated reason was because they wouldn't have any doctors or lawyers. And it's like, well, if they hadn't killed all those Jews, so it's kind of like even by trying to punish them, then they still came out on top because it's like, we killed so many Jews that they won't even punish us because we would have no doctors or lawyers.
Right. It's just like, well, you killed all the Jewish people and all the Roma and all the queer people, and the queer people just went right back to jail, right? Like they didn't even get out, right? If they survived the Holocaust, they were just to normal jail.
It's not like the USSR was coming in there like, we got to free the queer people.
Right. Yeah. Like, all right, we'll send them to jail.
But the ringleaders were made examples of.
Yeah.
And the entire Nazi state. I mean, basically, the Germany that exists now is a completely different nation state than Nazi Germany. We tore it down to the foundation and rebuilt it
in half.
Yeah.
We built 2 of them.
Yeah, we built 2 of them, but like the entire political mechanism and the denazification of the bureaucracy, ensured that they wouldn't slip immediately back into fascism. And we're going to have to do something like that in the United States. We're going to have the demagafication of the United States, and the people who are still around, the people at the top who are still around at the end of all this are going to have to pay.
Yeah.
They do. They will have to. Hopefully that we're going to get there sooner rather than later, because it'll happen eventually. You know.
And denazification or demagafication of America is a decades-long project. It will go on longer than most of us are alive. Yeah.
Well, I mean, And what sucks is that
remember, just hold in your heart the fact that Curtis Yarvin wants to flee the country. Just hold that in all of our hearts.
That's pretty great.
Let that be the light at the end of the tunnel.
Pretty great. I just want to point out that South Park has kind of done it again. I know because it's not the season premiere anymore. It kind of goes under the radar, but they keep doing it, man. Which, by the way, I think they're cheating, man. They're doing, how Marvel would be like, oh, we're on issue number 3000 or whatever, when it really wasn't actually that. They just did some weird number tabulations to get there.
Yeah, they did some funny math.
So they're doing funny math with South Park, and they've already, the season that started where we covered not long ago with the Trump AI thing or whatever that wasn't fully AI. That was season 27, and now they're on season 28. And I guess it's because they want to get to a certain point for the whatever anniversary of the show or whatever. So whatever, fuck them. That's not what this fucking podcast is about, but it could be.
Yes.
It could be that. No,
I would be very weird because I don't watch South Park. I just have,
we would have to start every episode with just giving you a recap of what happened.
Oh, okay. All right.
But what happened on this most recent one is that they showed Pam Bondi is now on South Park.
Oh, no.
And she, anytime the camera, anytime it cuts away from her and then cuts back, she's got a big piece of shit on her nose, just like smeared across her nose. And then somebody's like, Pam, you got some shit on your nose. She's like, oh, do I? Yeah. And then, of course, Stephen Miller, which is a little bit more obvious, still pretty awesome how they depict him. And he's just like this sunken-eyed ghoul that's like, yes, next week. Wait, well, so they're just kind of depicting him. Never mind.
I was going to say so they just have a picture of Stephen Miller up there.
But they're still doing its important work to satirize this administration, this regime. Rather, I'm trying to just not say administration anymore.
And I think to if we have any right wingers listening in, I think it's important to satirize every regime.
True. They're like, oh, why does this do anything about Joe Biden? Because he's fucking boring. And if you're thinking about certain things in your mind that like, oh wait, they could have covered this and this and this, the reason they did it is because it was probably bullshit that you were at least either being amplified from nothing or completely made up that you were seeing in your fucking algorithm, and that's why they didn't cover it.
Also, I don't think South Park was on the air for most of the Biden administration.
The main reason was they basically did not air much during that time period. So, here, I'm going to show a quick picture of Stephen Miller here, and then because it's funny.
Trigger warning for Stephen Miller.
It's not really him.
But that's not the joke, Dane.
I mean, you can't tell. It kind of looks exactly like him. So, where's that? Here we go. There's Stephen Miller.
Yeah, that looks like Stephen Miller.
Yes, he's like a
you know what he looks like? You know what it reminds me of, in that, like, just how his head is shaped, I know Marvel doesn't have like an Earth X or an Earth 3, but it's like the Earth 3 Professor X, or it's like the evil version.
Oh, you mean Professor X?
It's the same picture. I can't tell the difference.
And then, of course, Pam Bondi.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
In the episode, because this is how current they are, it's actually their president. The president is tearing down the east wing of the White House. And there is this phantom that's haunting him. He's like, what is that? Well, oh, God. And at first you're like,
it's his wife.
It's his wife. It's just his wife.
Yeah, it's his wife.
And everywhere she just like shows up in the room and he runs away screaming. It's pretty funny. By the way, just so you know, that it is still the storyline is that he is having a baby, having impregnated Satan. So the baby that they're having is Satan, and that's cool with me. And at the same time, little mini JD Vance. So basically, just another, JD Vance. Basically, he is conspiring with Peter Thiel to steal the presidency. So I'm waiting for South Park to do something fictional. Honestly,
yeah, it's weird that it's just a documentary at this point.
But the one thing they did do that different this episode was that they introduced the idea that everybody thinks South Park sucks now. Of course, they're talking about the town, but they're, you know what they're talking about. Right. So they created a website, southparksucksnow.com or whatever. And then you go to it and you can buy a meme crypto coin. And that's what they've done with their following that they've gathered under this idea that South Park sucks now. So,
Sure.
Once again, just take it. I mean, honestly, that's pretty brilliant. I mean, I don't think they actually created a meme coin. Maybe they did, but yeah, in the show they did. All right.
Oh,
look, mass psychosis is. I mean, it's tricky because it's honestly unprecedented. Even if it is just a version of mass psychosis, there's never been one like this where people are so brainwashed on a daily basis, like they're just scrolling and having their fucking brainwashing messaging sit right into their fucking heads all day long, every day. Previously old school cults, you at least, maybe you'd meet with the leader once in the evenings or something like that. And he'd give you your messaging for the day or whatever. But like, there's a whole industry, and that's going to have to be something that we address.
So the reason I wouldn't call it a mass psychosis,
the way we break the spell. Go ahead, Morgan.
No, go ahead.
The way we break the spell was the way we broke the Nazi spell, by defeating them.
Yeah,
decisively.
The defeat, that's absolutely necessary. It's not like if they're defeated that they just will stay as fervent as they are, because they won't. Even at the point, I was just talking to my girlfriend about this. At the point, she knows too. The point that Trump dies or whatever happens to him, it's not going to remain the same. Essentially, because that's their biggest flaw. Their big exhaust port in the Death Star is that they have not built a movement on an ideology at all. They have scraps of ideology floating around in there somewhere, but it's all vibes-based and it's all Trump-based. MAGA is a Trump-centric thing that, once whatever happens to him, there's not going to be somebody that can step right in and just take over that role. This won't happen.
So the reason I don't want to call it psychosis, and I actually want to push back against that, is pretty specific. Oh, sorry, I punched my microphone like an asshole. Okay. It's not a mental illness. These people aren't mentally ill. True. They are propagandized too, in a bunch of different ways, right? So I think you look at polling data, and most polls show that the Republicans aren't very popular. But you also show that Democrats aren't very popular.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you ask people, like, what don't you like about the Democrats? It's things the Democrats aren't even doing, right? Whether it's like, oh, Democrats are focused on, trans rights or whatever, when you can't find half a dozen Democrats that talk
Democrats
on the issue,
like being ardent defenders of trans people,
right? It's like Zoran Mandami and Tammy Baldwin and AOC and maybe Bernie sometimes. It's kind of it. But I mean, the average person is
Bernie's old school leftist, so he's about everybody. He just talks about the oligarchs,
Right? Yeah, he doesn't really touch on the issue.
Right.
But and then you have a lot of anti-trans Democrats that are getting a lot of, airtime right now, like Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
But then all that plays on your local news, all that plays on cable news is that, oh, Dems are involved in culture war. So your average voter thinks that Dems don't care about kitchen table issues, even though if you watch them speak, if you attend their rallies, attend their town halls, read their voting record, the opposite of that is true. You just aren't being given correct information. So it's not mass psychosis. It's a propagated delusion by the media.
Yeah, I don't think mass psychosis is a thing. I don't think there's anything in the behavior of MAGA that's qualitatively different from any other human mental behavior in different contexts. It's just
CGH, are you listening? Because we're actually still addressing what you said, man. So no more new questions right now.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, like the behavior of people in MAGA as a population, not as individuals necessarily, is not qualitatively different from the behavior of people in other populations and other belief systems. It's a normal set of human behaviors that are being weaponized towards specific political goals. So they're not psychotic. They're just
to be clear,
susceptible to propaganda like all of us are.
I was only engaging with the question in the spirit of what was said. I didn't believe. I don't.
No, that's fine. That's I wanted to because I think it actually ties into what we're talking about tonight with the shutdown.
True. Well, and this is pretty easy. This is pretty easy to answer, just like Google, man. Like, I mean, yes, there's studies that have already shown this. This is absolutely the case.
The answer to that question, CJ, is yes.
It's exacerbated essentially every single issue. That was going on.
All right, so let's get into the shutdown.
Right. So we're gonna be talking about, here's the topics. We got the epidemic of immigrants just coming over here and just taking up all our SNAP money. So we're wanting to give money for food and stuff to all these like threadbare social safety networks that we do have. These Democrats are wanting to give it to all the immigrants, all these illegal people. Okay. We're going to show why that's not actually the case.
Right.
Also, the other reason that they don't want to open the government. So this is, let me start here. The reason the government is shut down is because the Republicans want it to be shut down.
Right.
There's that. Not because of anything else. They pretend like it's about some policy battle when that's not it. They say it's because in order to open the government, there's a bill. The bill to essentially reopen the government would include, per the Democrats, allowing to feed and take care of illegal immigrants. Right? It's not a term that I like to use. I don't really believe that
is the term the Republicans are using.
That is what they say. And that's what they're trying to do. And also, gender affirming care. They'll say things like, minor surgery for children, trans surgeries for kids, and stuff like that. That's going to be included. Okay. We're going to, address why that's absolutely, like, almost even more untrue somehow. And then we're going to talk about why, believe it or not, despite what you may have heard lately, slavery was bad. Okay.
Still bad. Yeah.
Still bad.
Slavery.
And we might touch on, well, I don't want to say it that way. We might discuss Nick Fuentes a little bit.
We're not going to touch that.
He's kind of the connective tissue to all of this.
Yeah. A little bit.
So
I think I want to start with what the Republican talking point on illegal immigrants getting health care, because that's their stated defense of why they are shutting down the government. So what this is a provision in existing law, that if the law is a hospital, any hospital with an emergency room, if someone comes in, you have to treat them. You don't have to treat them well. You don't have to treat them for long, but you do have to, a doctor has to look at them and to make sure they're not going to die immediately. And that costs hospitals money. And so there's a law in the books that is, if someone shows up and they can't pay, you still have, we will pay you, we will reimburse you the cost of that. That law does not exclude immigrants, legal or otherwise.
And just so you know, this has always been the case. This is not like something that Democrats are trying to advocate for to add to the way things are done. This has always been the case that what Republicans are advocating for is cruel and malicious, essentially murder by inaction in some cases. They think that if some immigrant who doesn't have
okay, so you're that's what they think they're advocating for, but they're not, because they're not getting rid of that law. They're just saying we're not going to pay you.
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. So
they want those immigrants to die. That's true.
Yeah.
The difference is, instead of like it coming out of the general tax fund, the hospitals are required to pay for it. Keep in mind, hospitals have already had their funding cut in a de facto way by all the Medicare and Medicaid cuts that happened under the big budget bill earlier this year. So this is just about making your insurance rates higher and shutting down hospitals. This is about not about making immigrants die. This is about making all of us die.
Yeah,
right. True. And not opening the pedonomicon because
not opening the pedonomicon.
That's
That is.
But anyway,
we all know that by now. That's
right.
The real reason. They're afraid to open the pedonomicon.
I actually have another real reason. That's sort of a super tier reason of this.
I mean, there is more. Like, I think that has to do with them in government, and they're wanting to really. And actually, go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
All right. So I think when we look at the last 50 years of Republican politics and the MAGA movement, there's two precepts for the last half century of Republican politics, which is the government is bad and we should not have it. And then the precept of MAGA is we should have a king. And that king needs to be Donald Trump. And shutting down the government accomplishes both of those goals. That's it. Everything else is just kind of busy.
Well, I mean, there's the see, you're right, but I think the details of those also are important. That
100% they matter a lot.
Yeah,
they,
the big
like,
picture
when they
wise,
talk about what their motivations are.
In the context of what you just said, they want. In the context of what you just said, they want people to suffer because they enjoy that, but also at some point, maybe before the holidays, I'm thinking if there's nothing else figured out, if something doesn't happen before then, Trump will reopen the government or at least funds food stamps and stuff. I think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Then Trump is the savior. It's essentially just the same thing. It's what is it? It's going to try and Stockholm syndrome everybody, basically.
Yeah. Well, it's what it is they've already had two court rulings that say no, the emergency food stamp fund that exists, that like money is set aside by statute for if the government is shut down, you use this money to fund SNAP benefits. The Trump administration has frozen those assets illegally, which is part of the shutdown.
So that's a type of spending apparently that can be shut down. So it's non-mandatory spending apparently. Right. The reason I distinguish that is because I know of people who get things like disability checks, and those are still going because those are included. Those are called mandatory spending.
So yep.
If I don't know what the food stamps and whatnot, SNAP rather, or I don't know what they're categorized under, but they could be categorized under the exact same thing and should be. So should like I'm using veterans payments and stuff like as a wedge for it. Like
right.
It all should be essentially mandatory. If the government has taken it upon itself, which they should, to take care of people who need help, they should not be able to just not do that. But
so
I think that I could be wrong. We should look this up. But I was under the impression that SNAP, etc., is mandatory spending, and that's one of the things that makes this illegal. Is the fact that they're trying to treat it like it's discretionary spending. I could be wrong about that, but that's.
I think we might be talking about two different things. You might be right. We might be talking about two different things. Like, as in, like I think mandatory spending is in a specific system that just will pay out, right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know that I don't know if they could stop that. I'm not sure, but or maybe it could just be as simple and cynical as they know that old people and disabled people get those checks, so they don't want to fuck over their own people. Could be that.
So, could be but part of this is that after those court rulings. So I want to circle back to that because I think this is important. So the two courts have said you have to spend that money. That money has to go to people on these programs. Yep. And the Trump administration put out a statement saying, well, our lawyers are going to look into it because we don't know if that's true or not. Which is not how court rulings work, by the way.
No. But also not how the Constitution works.
That is not how the Constitution works either. But these people do not care about laws or constitutions or anything or people either. They really just don't care about anything but their own, jerking off.
Yeah, just for clarification, for the benefit of those listening to this who may not know this, under our system of government, under the Constitution, spending is mandated by Congress.
Yeah.
When Congress allocates money to anything, the president by law has to spend it the way Congress says it needs to be spent.
Yep.
The president is not allowed under any circumstance to decide he can move that money around and spend it differently than Congress told him to.
Right.
So that's the context of what's all of what we just said is the context for the rhetoric around SNAP that we actually wanted to talk about. So
right. So Congress passed a law.
I think.
Yeah. Congress passed a law saying you spend money this way. The president says, no, make me. The court said, we're making you. And he said, no, make me again.
Yeah.
Because courts don't actually have enforcement power. It's a whole problem. But I think what he'll do for the PR win is to open that money up, I don't know, a week before Thanksgiving, if there's not a resolution.
Yeah.
No, part of why
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I think the goal is to foment violence so they can invoke the Insurrection Act. So if you have you have millions of desperately poor and hungry people starting food riots, that's a great justification for invoking the Insurrection Act.
Yeah, I want to show this quick news clip that is also going to add some really infuriating context to the whole thing, but it'll sum up everything for us. So.
Shutdown now in its second month. Millions of Americans are trying to figure out how to make ends meet amid new uncertainty over their SNAP food.
It's 42 million, by the way, 42 million Americans homes.
Yeah.
Benefits. President Trump is returning to the White House on Sunday after spending the weekend in Florida. Willie James Inman reports from West Palm Beach.
This is true. That is true. So yeah, I don't know how. I mean, you're right. I don't know what that does to the overall analysis of why things are the way they are. But yeah,
probably because it's block grants and like the states are responsible for it, but the federal government through the administration can just turn off the hose.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah.
Beach tonight.
I can't believe his fucking official White House photo is so evil looking, man. Like, I mean, I can, but like, it's almost like he's like, I want to look as evil as possible.
It's like his mugshot.
That is, I think it is his mugshot. It looks like the hellish light of the Petonomicon glowing up upon his face.
This bakery in the Sacramento, California area is offering free sourdough bread to people who receive government food assistance through SNAP.
Yes, this is why they're dedicated to convincing people that it's all on the Democrats.
Right. That's why they want to get. Yeah, that's why they work very, very hard.
Because otherwise, they just wouldn't care. They would just be happy to fuck us over.
Keep in mind, however, that a majority of the U.S. population lives in cities, which numerically would mean that a majority of SNAP recipients live in cities, and cities are what they really hate.
They really hate cities. Yeah.
Awful, right? Like we can't not give people what they need.
On Friday, 2 federal judges ruled that the Trump administration must continue to fund SNAP, the nation's biggest food aid program, by using contingency funding.
That is a very, very small Band-Aid. And the only way you're going to get SNAP benefits back on track is if Democrats vote for our clean CR.
Republicans continue to urge Democrats to support a short-term spending bill that would reopen the government. Democrats say they want an extension of Affordable Care Act subsidies that would lower the cost of health insurance premiums.
So for context, the people at ACA their costs are going to be about double now.
Yeah.
So
people who have, I'm sure some of you might even be people on an Affordable Care Act plan through the government website. Those numbers are out already, and yeah, they are 40 to 100% higher. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that guy, I don't think he knows how to use a sword, but he has probably sexually assaulted a teenage girl before, like Deathstroke.
Probably. So. Well, I wonder if I can find, there's a clip of him earlier in the shutdown. He was on CNN, I think, and they also had John Fugelsang on as a guest. And Fugelsang asks why he's what he's doing with the shutdown, because you're here on TV. He goes, oh, we're doing like constituent work, and John Fugelsang is like, welcome to New York City, Congressman, because Dan Crenshaw is like congressman from Texas.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have constituents in fucking New York.
Yeah.
It's also really this was not really making appearances publicly, or at least he wasn't very prominent appearances for a long time, it seemed. Yeah. Now he's back and I hate it.
Yeah.
And this news report is slightly misleading because the anchor just said that what the Democrats want is to lower the cost of
not even, I wish.
Right.
No, what they want to do is keep them the same.
Maintain them, yeah.
So the way this guy framed it is already accepting
to say, well, the costs are going up, So Democrats want to lower them from that cost that they're going up to because Republicans have cut funds.
Right. Well, yeah, and now it would be they'd be lowering them because now they have gone up. Yeah.
Right. But the framing accepts the inevitability of the cost increase.
Right.
It's
well,
just the way that the media.
This is. Let me see who this news is from. It could be like a Sinclair or something news group.
Yeah, it's possible. It's just another example of the way that the media talks about Republican policies like it's the weather. Like we have no choice. Yeah. We just have to accept that this is going to happen.
Right.
New York and New Jersey have apparently declared a state of emergency, by the way. Because
several states have, yeah.
Yeah. And then the reason I've chose this one in particular, and I guess maybe there's not much time left. We'll see how they get into it. But there was a little bit of a Trump info that I thought was especially frustrating.
Get the darn thing open, deal with the healthcare cliff. Don't let people go hungry when we've got money set aside on SNAP. That can all be accomplished sooner the better.
A new CBS News YouGov poll shows Americans are increasingly voicing concern about the shutdown's impact on the U.S. economy and themselves. There's also
This is a pointless. This is a nonsense statement. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You're literally just saying dumb bullshit right now. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry.
Politics are the issues. That's how we resolve issues in a society. That's what politics are.
I don't know that you could have just made a debut in chat with a more meaningless statement than that.
Yeah, that's
so worry about the effect on government functions, including air travel.
We have to be honest. When we have controllers, where we have shortages in towers and TRACONs, doing two jobs, does it add more risk into the system? Sure, it does. But again, we're always.
I don't hear anybody from the regime. So the point is that supposed to be, it said in the title, I guess they're not going to fucking address it. Holy shit.
They don't. Yeah, look at
so
that.
In the title, it says that they're going to mention the fact that Trump had a Gatsby-themed party.
Yeah. Trump had a Great Gatsby-themed Halloween party.
Hold on, real quick. We don't need to tell ourselves anything. We know it, and we could even prove it. We prove it every week on this show. You not understanding that, and you just being, I guess, maybe dumb or maybe lazy to the point where you don't want to think about issues that matter. And these, politics are literally the act of engaging government and using government to create policies that affect people's lives. So those are the issues, you dumb fuck.
Okay. Yeah. This is just the brain rot of a person who thinks that politics means team sports.
That's the exact person that became a fucking MAGA goon, by the way. The exact kind of person that just didn't, politics is so stupid. I'm tired of politics. And then, of course, somebody comes along that makes them feel good about thinking politics are stupid. And then
Talon Turtle will now be spending some time in the cornfield so we can get back on track. Hopefully, if he's still listening, he can learn some things.
Play mode. All right. Sorry.
Yeah, he can learn and maybe come back later. We'll see. As you were.
Who was speaking? It was you.
What was it, me?
It was you, Dane.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just saying that there was the Gatsby themed party that Trump had, which is almost like designed to be the shittiest thing that he could be doing.
Well, I think this is, if the media was interested in covering the current situation in our government in I'm going to use the term, I hate it, fair and balanced way. Let's talk about $40 billion to Argentina. Let's talk about millions of dollars per airstrike on fishing boats in the Caribbean.
Well, let's talk about the rhetoric of the worthy poor versus the
that brings us into I've got a little video to check out about that because
let's talk about that.
This is another one from the channel Park Rose Permaculture, fellow Portlander. She puts out pretty great content, if for no other reason than she's always finding the little videos that go around that I don't see that show that somebody's talking about a specific thing that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, she covers a lot of TikTok videos, but she covers them on YouTube. So
right, that's what I should say, because I ain't going on TikTok, man. Fuck all that.
I'm old. I don't go on TikTok.
Where the hell is that video? Sorry.
TikTok and Tumblr are the same thing to me. Not that they are the same thing, because they're very much not. But I don't need them, because if there's something interesting that happens there, someone will show me.
Yep. Somebody will bring it over to a platform that is much easier and more you know,
I'll delegate the labor. They can send it to me on Discord, and I will be pleased as punch to see it.
But while Dane's looking up that video, I saw the video earlier this week, and it's a great illustration of the problem with the purple revolution that Dane and I talked about a couple weeks ago on his stream, that of how much work the so-called purple revolution still needs to do before it can really engage with the rest of us constructively.
But even if it is
before it understands what politics are, even
if it is a sincere thing and it's not just an intentional fucking psyop, which is possible, then it's just not something to trust. I could have sworn I download that video and I'm not finding it.
Yeah, I have a funny story about this while you're looking for that. It's completely unrelated. So I run Pathfinder Society. It's a role-playing game organized play program. But we had someone at a convention who was so like TikTok brain rotted that they were like trying to watch videos their friends were sending them while we were playing at a convention, and they kept turning the volume up on their phone because they couldn't hear it because conventions are allowed. I'm like, can that wait?
No, it can't wait.
I'm just like, very silly moment.
But
missing the point is the whole it's the classic, as you say, it's another right-wing media illiteracy thing. They don't get it.
But I mean, according to if you watched Ant's recent video, according to some folks, there's just one universal truth to every story, or should be.
That's not how stories work.
Here's this.
You see, all these people bitching about food stamps that are running out on the 1st. I don't really give a fuck. I care for the elderly, and I care about the people who actually need the food stamps and the welfare assistance.
So the people on those programs got it. All right.
Every single person who is on SNAP. I want to say, is there abuse of systems? Always. Every single system, there's always going to be some degree of abuse happening to that system. That is the nature of systems. You can do whatever everything possible to mitigate the abuse that might happen to a system, but generally SNAP is extremely difficult to abuse. Okay, it just is. And I want to show this other clip real quick too. I don't think we need to watch a whole lot of her video to get the point, because he just said it. He said all the things.
She covers. She has a tendency to ramble, I think. It might be to get the ad revenue. I don't know, but she covers the point that, like you just said, basically every single person on SNAP is, number one, an American citizen. It's impossible for non-citizens to get it. Number two, most of them are elderly, children,
I want to go ahead
on disabilities.
What? Go ahead and pivot to that, to proving that point you just said, actually, since you mentioned. I was going to get there, but
sure.
Yeah, well, we can prove it. I'm just saying what she said, right?
I was going to get there is what I'm saying, Bob.
Okay.
Here we've got a PDF of the SNAP eligibility process. This is from the Oregon version of this. So this is like and this is the way it is with all of them, because they all follow the same guidelines that I'm sure the federal government established whenever they
did it back when we had the federal government.
Which I think it was 1971 or 1961. I think
it's been a minute. Yeah, this is not a new program.
I mean, SNAP is new, but like food stamps is food stamps. JFK enacted. So right here, for eligibility, these items are required to be verified. And what's that second one right there?
Weird.
Okay, so there's that just goes ahead and says, okay, so if you're not a citizen of the United States, you can't get it. And then just to make sure, Social Security number. So, sure, there's fake Social Security numbers people can get. Incredibly hard to get one that'll pass muster, but still, that doesn't matter if you can't prove you were born here. Then your income. Oh my God, income. That means you have to show that you make under a certain amount of money.
Yeah,
and they really root around for a lot of these government programs that you don't make a certain amount of money, and proving a negative is very tricky.
Yeah. Who used a slur?
Huh?
Who used a slur, Jacob?
Who used a slur?
I don't see that. Hear that.
Looks like they're addressing somebody who was in chat.
But I don't see that.
I don't see that either.
Jay, either, Jay.
Oh, I guess somebody Duke somebody was. I didn't even see that shit. Good job, y'all. Hey, that's what we're asking of you guys. You're doing a good job there. And then medical expenses, if eligible for a medical deduction, and then any other information that is now. Full disclosure, I have received SNAP before. Okay, and so I know this stuff for a fact, and I also know that if you don't have one of these things, you simply cannot be approved. And how often do they require approval? Generally, twice a year. Once you've been on it for a while, I think after a while when I was on it, they would let you, you just have to kind of redo your application, like in the short version of it after a while. But like you have to prove your income on a semi-regular basis, because they don't want people who make a shitload of money or whatever. Just
yeah. I've been on SNAP before too, and I had to do that as well. Like I had to once every 6 months or so demonstrate that I was underpaid enough to get the benefits, and when my income went up, my benefits went down.
So okay, so actually, there are some non-citizens who are eligible. It says here, I didn't even know that. That's fine. I'm actually a-okay with that. You know what I'm saying? Like refugees, asylees. I didn't know that was a word. Okay, that makes sense. And victims of trafficking. You know what? I don't think they should go hungry.
I would agree.
Call me a bleeding heart.
Well, here's a lot of the rhetoric around around immigrants is that Republican propaganda treats those three groups as though they are in the country illegally.
In many cases, that's just what we're talking about. They want in the mental image of MAGA people, the idea of a refugee or an asylee, which I'm going to try and remember to use that word, or a victim of trafficking is just the same thing as the ones that are sneaking across on the border and stuff. And they might be some of the same ones, sure, but they don't care. They don't care about the reasons for it. It's a closed loop logical fallacy that they have working, because like they say that they did it the right way, the legal way. Well, that is the legal way. That is the way to do it.
Legal way. They are here legally.
If you are an asylee or a refugee, there's not just like you got to take this specific road to this specific building for refugees. You know what I mean? That's not how to do it.
Yeah. So how you apply for that status is you arrive at a port of entry and you say, I'm here as a refugee. And by law, by treaty law, they have to let you in and process your stuff. And that takes time. So you have people who are here living in the country who are undergoing that legal process, but have to wait because we only have so many immigration courts. Probably because we keep spending all of our immigration money on more cops to throw children into cop cars. American citizen children into cop cars.
Oh wait, here's more. So if we're talking about people that just by implication that guy was talking about people who have jobs, I guess, that make money, and if they still get SNAP or something, like who the fuck ask if you would really want to do that? Would you really want to receive? You basically have to think of poor people as all being malicious and evil and shit.
They do think that.
So able-bodied adults without dependents, ABODs, has to be at least 18, but not 52. Does not have a child under 18 receiving SNAP with them. If you're an ABOD, must meet work requirements. So there's already fucking work requirements involved with this stuff. They act like they just give this stuff out willy-nilly without any consideration. That's absolutely not true. There are limitations in place that honestly I would probably, if I had my druthers, wouldn't be there. But they're already there. You have to meet the work requirement. So you can't just be, you can, but you have to be trying to. The same thing with what you call it? Not workers' comp. Goddamn, unemployment disability or insurance.
Yeah,
where you have to be trying to get a job. You have to prove that. This is not. Yeah. And then the only exemptions for that are mental or physical health issues.
Right.
Where you simply cannot work.
Or and again, if it's a lot of those, they will really push back on that, depending on your state.
Yep.
Yeah. So the point is, or the summary, I guess, would be everyone on Snap is either disabled, a child, retired,
pregnant,
or someone who's working and not making enough money to eat.
Pregnant, or else the other two that I didn't get to that add to that are pregnant or caring for an adult relative or somebody that you simply can't work a job outside the home because you're caring for an adult who's disabled or old.
Yeah,
I mean, even if they do have hoops that I'm sure they have to fill out some forms, but I mean, he hasn't ever touched one of them himself.
No,
he's never personally fucking dealt with that stuff. He's got people that he pays to do that shit. So it's like not an actual inconvenience to him.
Right. He doesn't ever have to think about it.
Yeah.
There's that.
So all of the poor are worthy.
Yeah.
There are no exceptions.
None.
Now let's go on to this video that's really, really frustrating and kind of terrifying, honestly.
They cut my food stamps. I ain't paying for none of this. I got babies at home that gotta eat. You think I'm just gonna leave my cart here? Hell no. I ain't paying nothing. I'm walking out with it. Try and stop me.
Find somebody to big stop her.
That is to some degree AI enhanced or a video. I don't know if that was a real lady that was upset about something. I don't know, but it was not fully real, and it's definitely been done with the same intention of this one. Let's see.
$2,500 a month in stamps. I sell them $2,000 worth for about $1,200 to $1,500 cash. That's why everybody's upset. Folks say we're taking advantage, but that's how we get by.
And that's the frustration we're hearing out here in downtown Atlanta.
None of that's real.
None of it's real.
That's all AI.
There might have been some, lady standing there or something like that. I don't know. I don't know how much of it is just added on to something that existed, but that is not. Let's say you're abusing some system that's especially a government system, which none of you would do that. I know you all personally. You're great people. But let's say you were doing that. Why the fuck would you go on the news and brag about it?
You wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
So,
I don't care.
The amount of money you get on Snap per person is not that high. This person would have to have like 36 children to get that amount of money from Snap.
Yeah, I know. You're not supposed to be able to. They're absolutely propaganda designed to demonize, dehumanize, and make the poor seem like criminals that are just abusing the system.
I'll help you out. So look at the can we blow the can you zoom in on that, like the picture a little bit?
I can open it up in a window and then maybe zoom in that way. But
yeah, if you could do that, that would be.
I don't think I can do that either. So
because I want to point out the artifacts because I think it helps to train people.
I'm pretty sure the second one has been verified as fake. I don't know about the first one.
Well, that's the thing is if you, one of the first things that should make you pause anyway, I think, is resolution really fucking janky? Does it look like it was filmed on a potato? Everybody's got his phone that does pretty good resolution these days.
Right.
That doesn't prevent things from being run through some, compression or whatever that happens. But I mean, this looks pretty goddamn bad.
That's because you can use a shitty resolution to hide the artifacts.
Yeah.
But like the logos you can see on like the can there, that's not like a real logo. You can't see what's on her shirt. The people in the background don't move at all. Like they're just stationary images. You have this green.
The welfare queen was a Reagan invention, and it's worked well for them to some degree. So.
They're running back the classics. Hashtag the oldest lie.
Yeah.
But so that's a good just sample of the ones for this one, the things to look out for. If you can get to the next one, please.
Yeah, honestly, that's number one. Newsmax.
Yeah, if you're watching Newsmax,
they have no fucking journalistic integrity whatsoever. You know what I mean?
Whatever the opposite of journalistic integrity is, that's what they have.
Whereas Fox News might give pause to showing something they know is completely fake.
They will cosplay as journalists. But that's more
Newsmax
than Newsmax.
Like, I don't even care. Whatever. Trump all the way. Yeah. So there's that.
Right, let's fast forward to the other one.
This was literally the Purple Revolution guy. That's literally him. You can see it right there. TikTok.
Yeah, you could really,
He's the guy who created the idea of the Purple Revolution. It's fucking, at least in this incarnation, this is not the way to go. This is not something that's going to win anybody over. That's worth having, to be honest, because our politics come from our values, and this guy clearly doesn't value people that he imagines are, some kind of malicious, food stamp stealers, whatever. Also, I wanted to say that if Blue Frog March, whatever you want to call yourself, it's also it's really pretty fucking gross and kind of lame whenever people create another account or use another account to log in whenever they've been booted out of here, because like, why the fuck would you want to go somewhere you're not wanted? That seems really weird. But if you meant to say something else, if you meant to say more than what you said, then you should have said that. You shouldn't say something so reductive and silly that nobody knowing who you are and having context for what you might mean would take it the way that honestly anybody that gives a shit would have taken that first comment you made. So it's on you. And also, I don't care about how nice I am to people who are going to dismiss things that actually matter. We are beyond that in the country, in the world, at least as far as I'm concerned. And I'm, being the change. I don't give a shit how nice I need to be, or somebody that's dismissing people's well-being and livelihood. I don't give a shit how nice you expect me to be. You can fuck off that shit, because people are dying. People are fucking losing their rights. And I just don't give a single shit about being nice to somebody that thinks that's the most important thing to do. Okay.
All right. Moving on. So let's look at the other video, because I think the artifacts in this one are also good to point out. And these are the things you have to look for in these videos.
Yep. True. Yeah. So there's that. You can go to probably whatever state you're in. You can go to, information about SNAP if it's something you care about. And I mean, if you don't care, as we say, okay, then don't engage with it. You know what I mean? If it's not something you actually want to argue about anybody, or try and disprove or whatever, then fine. I wouldn't say you should try and argue with MAGA at this point anyway. But if it's something you care about, go learn something. And not just from some random source. Go to the SNAP page, the SNAP web, portal or whatever it is in your state. You can get all the information you need probably without even actually going through an application process. No. I did here with this PDF. So do it. If you're on SNAP, it's about to be hard for a lot of people. So food banks.
I'd like to add another layer to that when you're done.
Food banks. There's also, churches, a good place to start looking if you are desperate for food. And desperation is not a bad thing. It's just, we're humans. We need to eat. And we live in a system that has made it to where food only comes through certain avenues, and they're shutting those down.
Yeah. So go ahead, Bob.
Ending SNAP benefits is going to make life harder for everyone, not just people on SNAP, because one of the ways that SNAP is subsidized, the way that they're able to keep costs down, is that supermarkets and other places that accept SNAP benefits are given a subsidy by the government. That's part of the SNAP program.
Yep. So
when they end the money to SNAP, those subsidies go away, and the stores have to raise their prices on everything to make up for the loss of revenue.
Yep.
So cutting SNAP or eliminating SNAP means that prices will go up for everybody. Which means we're going to have more hungry people than were on SNAP now.
The last thing I want to add is, the last thing I want to add is, if you're a person who is doing okay right now, you have spare canned goods, spare boxed dry goods, check the expiration date. If they're good and you're not going to eat them for a while for whatever reason, it's just, whatever that is, find a food bank in your area, find a church in your area. In Milwaukee, libraries are taking food goods to get to those people. Get those things to people that need them right now. It literally can be life-saving for people. Anything you can give is a meal someone wouldn't have otherwise, and it's a big fucking deal. So if you are looking for a way to help right now, and you've got some cream and mushroom soup that you don't like, that your mother-in-law wanted for a recipe, not to use a specific example, great time to go give that to someone, because it can save a life.
And contact your food banks to see what kinds of foods they most need, because there's particular categories. I forget what they are, but there's particular categories of foods that food banks seem to always be low on.
Right.
Like I think peanut butter is one of them.
If you're somebody that doesn't have a lot of time, but maybe you like live in an apartment complex, one thing you could do is just kind of if you first of all, if you have a bunch of canned goods in your pantry that have been there, make sure they're not out of date, but canned goods generally stay good for quite a while. Just put them in a box and stick them out in the lobby of your apartment complex or something.
Yeah,
because the people that are going to need them, we're going to grab them.
Yep.
If something you don't know where to go or whatever, you just want to do something real quick, that's absolutely valid.
And make sure you mark the box as free food, because some people who need food are still good people and will feel guilty about what they consider stealing. They won't take it.
Right.
So give them the knowledge that it's okay to take it.
And if you're worried that the wrong person is going to take it, fix your shit.
The wrong person would be a dead person.
Right.
Yeah.
Or Trump himself.
Trump. Yeah. Me, I guess. Right. I have food. I don't need free food, but I know that. I know I don't need free food.
Yeah.
And they're offering like a nice croissant. That sounds delicious right now.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess we move on from there to what?
Slavery.
What were the other topic was slavery, and what was the third one? Was there a third one?
Well, technically there's the other thing that they're using as a wedge issue for the government not opening. They say that they're saying that because Democrats want to trans kids with surgery.
Oh yeah.
We've
classics
quite a bit before, so I mean we don't need to.
We've heard, why do we keep hearing this one? All right, to go over it for the people at the back of the class who might not have heard me the first several times, or if you're new here, welcome. Hi, nice to meet you. It doesn't happen. Healthcare for trans people is in the most progressive places with the most inclusive policies, incredibly gatekept. Children can't just get even medication for trans health care very easily, even if it's medication that cis kids could, which is always a fun part of this. Same thing with surgeries.
Well, that would sound like that trans people don't actually have exactly the same rights or something.
No, it's like they don't. It's weird.
Weird.
But so if you have a trans child, let's say you're a parent, your child has come out to you and go, I don't think I'm a boy, girl, whatever, right? Whichever one it is. Step one, if you go to your doctor, and again, this is if you are fortunate to live in a place where the healthcare already isn't illegal or effectively illegal, or have received bomb threats to make it so that the places don't cover it, or had their funding threatened by the government so that they don't cover it. But you get the point. That child will then have to see a child psychologist for a while, with and without you, because whenever a child psychologist is involved, the psychologist has to ask those obnoxious questions that aren't obnoxious unless you're an asshole parent about how you're treating your child. Once they know you're not abusing your child, and that they have a good feeling of how the child is mentally and stuff, they will recommend that child to a medical doctor, usually a psychiatrist and an endocrinologist, on top of their pediatrician, for medication. These are things like puberty blockers. And then once they're into their teen years, if they are still, presenting as what they said in the first place, and God's help you if you come out as non-binary in the middle of that, then they will consider starting you on low doses of hormones, depending on where you are with that. At the earliest, in the most inclusive, progressive programs in the country, a child might receive surgery at 17, 16. And that's usually only because it's usually for breast removal or breast reduction, which is something, again, cis kids can get if their parents think they need it, and not really why they need it, just if they think they need it. It's elective surgery. Your insurance isn't going to pay for it anyways. And that's really only if they didn't get hormone therapy in the first place, because if they were on puberty blockers from a young age and then on the proper hormones once they're a teenager, they won't have much breast growth anyways, because that's how the hormones work. So if you give them the full inclusive health care, you don't have to worry about top surgery in the first place. And then bottom surgery, you can't get you till you're an adult anyways. So that's just trans. That's like, and that is the most like inclusive version of this as you can get, right? You can't get this in Tennessee. They're and in Texas, if you try to get your child trans health care, flee the state. Quite literally, it is illegal to seek out that health care in the state of Texas. So that's where we're at, ground floor. Feel free to take over, gents.
What is the most recent talking point? I haven't heard that. Are they bringing up a new one about
It's the same one.
Government health care?
Right. It's that they're it's tied in with the idea of the whole they want to save the lives of illegal immigrants who show up at the hospital.
It's part of the justification of allowing these ACA grants to expire is that hospitals that get ACA money do surgery for trans people.
Well, with that overwhelming flood of illegal immigrants coming into emergency rooms every second of the day, that's a great population to trans right there.
Oh my God,
that's perfect for the trans agenda, right?
Well, right. Well, I mean, actually, wouldn't that be a good policy for the Republicans to take up? Because if they think being trans is so bad, then to them they would be punishing all these immigrants by making them be trans, right?
Maybe.
Well, they don't want
so much money. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Just like not the explanation that Morgan just gave should never be necessary.
No, it shouldn't.
That's we should trans rights are human rights, and as far as I know, every form of medical care that trans people receive is something that cis people also receive for other reasons.
Yep.
And were originally for I know that puberty blockers were for originally invented for precocious puberty. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the testosterone they give trans men is, well, there's a number of variants of it depending on what it is, but it is made for cis men's health issues.
Wait, what the fuck? They're sterilizing immigrants?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they do that in prisons.
Yeah. Well, that's where they're sending them. So.
Oh, right. Well, fuck.
Yeah. Which is
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any reporting on that. I'm not disputing that it's true. I know we will get there one day soon. I just haven't seen any headlines about that one yet.
I haven't either. I have not either. Oh, by the way, if you live in the New York or New Jersey area, voting area,
vote.
And you have not already voted for Mom Donnie, you fucking should do that before Tuesday.
Zoltar Rob Zombie.
Zoltar Rob Zombie all the way.
Yeah.
Honestly, I might do a stream Tuesday just to kind of see what happens. I don't know if you guys want to join in and make that a FAPcast thing, but
I will be working.
Yeah.
I might be able to join. It depends what time you start.
Well, it'll probably be in the evening. I'm going to look and I imagine that voting is similar to any other time, right? But either way, even if it's already decided that he's won or lost, I might vote. I mean, stream, not vote.
Yeah,
I'm not voting in New York. I swear to God.
I voted yes on Prop 50 in California to expand, or to not expand, but to allow the government to redistrict California.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Well, I'm in Portland, so I voted for Antifa as mayor. Things like that.
Old Antifa. How's she doing these days?
She's gonna be great when she's running this motherfucker. No, actually, let me show you something from Portland real quick. You want to see the truth of Portland is not so great. We got that one ice facility that sometimes gets a few people standing outside of it in funny costumes and stuff. It's a good time. But find that now.
I have an ICE story about Milwaukee. That's a fun one.
Oh, go ahead.
So there's I believe it's a private college. I don't know for sure. MSOE, the Milwaukee School of Engineering. It's one of the more well-regarded universities in the state. They leased a building to Department of Homeland Security a while ago. It's an older lease, but they want to remodel the building.
It's an older lease, but it checks out.
And repurpose it because it's an old building and they're a university that's growing, right? They always have new shit they want to do. It's an engineering school. ICE they can't renew the lease, and so they're just kind of squatting. They're just like, we're not going to get out.
Oh,
it's ours now.
Yeah, so they do seem to feel like they're above the law at this point, and I'm sure they've been told that they are. So
yeah, so like, we talk about like how the Republicans and how certain Democrats hate the homeless, call them squatters and stuff. ICE is literally squatting in a building, occupying it in violation of the law, and they're just like, yeah, whatever, we don't care.
Well, the thing is about these terrorists that are protesting and stuff. Like, if they weren't such terrorists, they would be okay, right?
Jesus.
Just a guy standing there. Just standing there.
Oh my gods.
This is
and he didn't know who came up behind him, so he's immediately instinctively fighting back, which they will call resisting arrest.
Right.
Hold on, what did it say? It said, state and Portland police have called federal officers' use of force inappropriate and excessive in court testimony. So, yeah, so this is, look, once again, man, maybe not a lot of cops, but at least some of the ones in Portland are like, hey, man, don't be such a piece of shit. I showed that video Friday night of the Portland cop that's like, there's some lady working for ICE, and she's in a truck, and she's trying to drive through where there's a bunch of protesters standing there. And this cop is just like, lady, if you fucking go anymore, I'm going to arrest you. And she's just like, no, it'll be okay. It won't be that messy. And it's like, holy shit, dude. Wow. Why do you got to make me be like, go cop,
Right. Yeah. ICE arrested a cop the other day because he was being a cop while brown. To answer Jay's question, it's the Third Amendment. That's that you can't quarter soldiers. Yeah. Yeah. So they're just like, we found a way to get that one too. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, they're
the Republican Party.
Well, if these are amendments, then we can kind of unamend them as we want to, right? That's the thing we can do.
Sure, if you can get 2/3 of the states and 2/3 of the Senate and Congress to do it.
Honestly, I'm surprised they ever added any to the goddamn Bill of Rights and Constitution, because I mean, how the fuck do they get that much consensus on anything in the past?
Consensus reality was a thing.
Yeah,
it seems like fucking impossible at this point, but.
Yeah. So it's important for all of us to remember that these people, ICE, MAGA, do not believe in the Constitution.
No.
So we need, while we do need to document and highlight what parts of the Constitution they are violating.
What the fuck was this guy even? What were they even doing? Sorry, but I was just like, what were they even doing? They were just standing there taking pictures or something? What? They're just standing there saying some shit, maybe?
They were offending the God men. That's what they were doing. But anyway, these people, their goal is to replace the Constitution with either a techno-feudalism or a theocracy based on biblical law, literally based on Old Testament biblical law.
Probably a bit of
both.
That's
not an exaggeration.
But only some of it, right? Only the parts they like, because the Old Testament is actually an anthology.
Depends on which of them we speak to. Which could be a segue into the slavery thing. But so appealing to them, like, it's important for us to take notes on the Constitution and keep track of all that. But appealing to them by talking about the Constitution will not work.
They don't believe in it.
They don't care. And everything they're doing is to push the boundaries of constitutional law to see how much they will be allowed to get away with.
Well, I'd like to give a historical, analog of this whole thing. Well, not analog, but like a comparison. So prior to the official start of the Holocaust, back in the old days of, back when the Nazis were first a thing.
Back when we had the first Nazis.
So they had before they, I don't know if it was before they were actually in power or not, but like the thing was, is if you know what a pogrom is, that is essentially a riot in which a bunch of people go about beating and hurting and murdering and Jewish people, as well as destroying their homes and their businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah,
simply just free for all against Jewish people. For some period of time or whatever. That's kind of just organized and encouraged to happen, right? So they were doing those pretty sparingly at first, because there was the middle class Germans would see that kind of thing and they'd be like, oh my God, that's what's going on outside our door. And there's these guys running around beating up the Jewish neighbors and stuff. They would eventually kind of like, hey, we don't like that. It makes us uncomfortable. And so they would kind of pull back on it. They would stop the pogrom. Then they would wait for a little while for things to calm down. People go about their normal lives or whatever. And then they would call for another one. Yeah. And there would be another one, right? And it's kind of not really a frog in boiling water type situation, but it is over time. It does, desensitize people and like just go, oh, this is just something that happens now every once in a while.
Well, and when it comes to anti-Jewish pogroms in Europe, that went on for centuries.
Sure, but I mean, I'm talking about the Nazis organizing it as like in the early 20th century, post World War I, like So and eventually, it just kind of another thing that they would do, that Hitler would do, was have the doctors, the rich Jewish people, before they actually started any official Holocausting or anything, even official any anti-Jewish anything, they would kidnap a rich Jewish person, hold them for a ransom because they, surprise, they sucked with money. Their economy was bullshit, even though they were telling everybody they were the saviors of the economy. So they would basically just hold ransom or get ransom for these Jewish people so that they could have some money and pretend that they knew what they were doing.
Well, and also they depersoned a lot of Jewish people where they would take their citizenship and deport them and then take all of their money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was around the same time that they basically just kind of told Europe, we're just going to go ahead and take what was it? Czechoslovakia, I think, or Poland or whatever. No, I'm sorry. Austria. They're like, we're just going to take Austria, and they're like, yeah, well, okay, we don't want to do another World War I type thing, so you guys can have that. Was basically Europe's response.
And part of it is like when we talk about the Holocaust, it wasn't just like we're going to kill all the Jews day one was the plan, right? Because it turns out they took fucking notes.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of German military guys, right? They wanted to export those people. They wanted to deport them and make them someone else's problem. But they also wanted to expand their country, which means they were pushing the Jewish people in their country out and then invading the countries they were pushing them to and going, see, look, all your Jewish problem, all these Jewish people around, we're going to push them out. And now their neighboring countries like, well, shit, we're at war with you. So like, you can't just send them here anymore. So then it was, well, we have to start putting them in camps and all of that.
There was actually an official, I forget the name of it, but there was originally, before the Holocaust was fully decided on, as just like, let's kill them all. There was like a plan to just deport them to something. I don't remember what that it was, like some plan that didn't really go that far, obviously.
To Madagascar.
That's what it was. It would have been too difficult, I think, was what they decided. Like, that's a real hassle, So they decided, mass extermination camps is the way to go. Anyway.
And I'm glad Morgan talked about how it was a process, because looking back on it, we tend to imagine that it happened like the Nazis took power and then boom, right that second they started slaughtering the Jews. Nope. And it wasn't like that. They went through a whole, for most of the early years of Nazi Germany, they tried to give. We're encouraging people not to shop at their businesses anymore, and to kind of like they're using rhetoric that would dehumanize and whatnot. Very much like what we've been seeing with immigrants and trans people, and as if to add it to the perfect transition point here, we're starting to see it more and more when it comes to just black people and anybody that's really non-white at this point.
So when you see things like this pop up,
yeah,
The
content
institution
warning.
of slavery is not inherently evil. I know. Some of you guys are upset by that. Some of you guys are saying, I've been saying that for years. Okay, I'll take it a step further. It is not inherently evil to own another human being.
okay, I want to add real quick piece. Hold on, I got to mute for a second.
One, cringe. Just the sound effects and like not only is what he is saying cringe, but the sound effects is just like, guy, I just, bro, bring it in. Get a writer.
Yeah, so this guy's name is I have the information here.
Joshua Hames.
Joshua Hames. He has some, I don't know, some fucking right-wing Nazi YouTube channel.
Sure.
But the most important thing to know about him, I think, and this is really hard to find. There's only one image that I can see of this, and it's really small. I'm gonna go ahead and download that so I can show you guys. Let's see. Very important. Like, honestly, this is the most important thing to know about him. He's been like a youth minister type guy in the past. You know, I don't know if he's always been
So he okay.
this far right wing or what, but like the simple fact is, yeah, and you can't trust anybody like this, okay? Nobody that has this going on. Well, should you trust?
Oh,
look at that fucking man bun! Holy shit! What a piece of shit, man! What kind of piece of shit?
I agree. This is the most important thing to know about him. But the second most important thing to know about him is that he is a pastor at the church attended by our current Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, who has appeared on his podcast before he was Secretary of Defense.
And that's Pete Hegseth with all the Nazi tattoos, right? That Pete Hegseth.
The Crusader tattoos. Excuse me. Crusader tattoos.
Sure. Okay.
Not,
the one.
Not Nazi.
The Crusader tattoos that the Nazis appropriated to use as Nazi tattoos.
Ma'am. Crusaders are not Nazis.
Not only him. It's funny how many people just suddenly don't know who this guy is. It's kind of weird. Like, for instance, Dinesh D'Souza. I don't know who this guy is.
And so Dinesh D'Souza appeared on his show.
Yeah. Go back to that. Dinesh D'Souza was on Reformation Red Pill's YouTube channel September 30th, 18 days before this post. To say he doesn't know him, is a lie. You were on his channel a few weeks ago. Oops, must have a very forgettable fate. No, Dinesh D'Souza is just like the most lying liar of all lies, basically.
And this is like the only person in Trump's orbit who actually paid any consequences, too.
Yeah, well, he got pardoned, I believe, so.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he did.
Trump hasn't found a villain that he wouldn't pardon.
He's the propagandist I'm most familiar with his work because I kind of unintentionally, well, I mean, once I realized what it was, I sat through it. But like, so I remember back in 2012, I think it was. Yeah, it must have been. So prior to the 2012 election, I had a day where I was just like, had nothing going on, and I wanted to see two movies that were playing, but were going to be several hours apart.
Sure.
I was going to see two movies in one day. Oh, those were the old good days. But the movies were, when I think about it, it was X-Men First Class. So it was 2011. Sure. And Fast Five, I believe. And what was, I don't remember the second one, maybe Prometheus. But in between there, I just went ahead and kind of sat in some different theaters without paying. Kind of just hung around. And one of them was this documentary movie called 2016 Obama's America.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And it turns out it was Dinesh D'Souza. And the movie begins with him saying, Obama is, tells about his heritage, his ethnicity, what his father is or was or whatever. And he's like, and then he shows a comparison of Obama's arm and his arm. And he's like, I'm basically the same color as Barack Obama. So you know that what I'm about to say is not about racism or whatever. I'm like, this is the fucking thing I've ever seen. I can't believe this is on a big screen in a movie theater. And every single head in there in the theater in front of me was just like gray topped. Anyway,
so to bring it back to Joshua Hames, the video clip we just saw, I don't know how much Right Wing Watch shows in that clip.
There's a few minutes of the video here,
but it's all like right wing Christian Christian nationalism theology. That's what his podcast is, the
Right.
Reformation Red Pill.
Well, yeah, and to give you some context as far as like where he falls in terms of like his version of Christian nationalism, he is to the right of the regime.
Yeah.
And the Christian nationalist in the regime.
Well, I mean, he's to the right of what the
that's yeah.
regime is willing to present themselves as at this
right.
point.
That's a better way to put that.
He has, so that's why I mentioned Pete Hegseth.
Right.
This isn't the first time Pete Hegseth has been associated with, has been linked to this particular church. The church is run by a guy called Doug Wilson, who thinks that the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote, needs to be repealed. And Hegseth shared a clip of Doug Wilson saying that after he was the Secretary of Defense. And so this is the theology and the ideology that is animating the guy who runs our military.
Right. Badly.
Yeah, badly. And unfortunately, it does seem like a good bit of the top brass that just are not taking him very seriously.
Why they're getting fired.
Once again, I hate to be in a position where I'm like, hey, man, good job, generals of the military.
Right. I don't want to cheer for you guys.
But
or
good job.
Maybe you should do something I cheer for you more in. Like, I don't know. When Hegseth puts you all in a room together.
Put him against the wall. No. Sorry. Took it too far.
And paintball him.
Paintball, yes. Paintball. That's what I was. Yeah, thank you. I forgot to say that. That's what I meant.
I know it. You know, you
anyway. So what this guy is doing is normalizing the idea of bringing back slavery. And what he does in this whole video, I've watched this entire video and some reactions to it. And what he does in this video is argue that he basically argues the 19th century white slaveholder argument that being the state of owning a person is not sinful, and the institution of slavery in and of itself is not sinful, but the slave trade is evil because the Bible condemns man catchers to death. So as long as no one is being kidnapped, it's okay to own another person and and have an institutionalized slavery. And he also draws a false distinction between debt bondage and chattel slavery, which is not a distinction that appears in the Bible.
Nope.
And
so
what's
weird, what he's suggesting by implication is that, look, I wouldn't expect any God-fearing Christian to ever actually, buy or like to sell someone into slavery to catch a man. That's ungodly. It's sinful. But hey, look, if they're out on the market, because, and if you think that's not possible, that they could normalize something like that, think about your cell phones. We all own one, but there's a good chance that at some point down the line, there was slave labor used to, or even child labor used to get the materials for that cell phone. So, I mean, we are in a position of doing something, benefiting from something we know, without knowing the facts of it, but we know it's a good chance that it is true, that we're exploiting people via slave labor, and we're still benefiting from it every single day. We glue our faces to it, we scroll it, and so
you might be listening to on it, right? Like to bring it even closer to home than that, slavery actually is still legal in the United States in the 13th Amendment. It's just that you have to be incarcerated in prison to be forced to do labor.
Well, sort of. It says that
sort of
slavery can be imposed as a punishment for crime.
Right.
So it's not
Look,
automatically
it's not slavery because they will pay you. They will pay you 50 cents a day. So they're getting paid. Okay.
No, legally that's not considered slavery. In other words, what I was saying is that that the state of being a prisoner does not automatically under the law make slavery legal. It just says the 13th Amendment says that slavery cannot be imposed except as a punishment for crime.
Which I think sort of.
And so that's sort of what he's trying to normalize.
Right.
He's trying to they're trying to bring back the idea that we've got this pool of labor here. We're kicking out all of the immigrant labor. We may as well use this slave population and or this prison population for slaves because we're not kidnapping them. They're already in prison. They've already
Right.
served, they're already in trouble anyway. We're not going to their country and stealing them. We're not taking them from their families by force. They're just sitting there wasting our resources. We might as well put them to work.
You ever notice that all of the people that these days, it didn't used to be the case because they used to do a lot more open anti-black racism and stuff. But nowadays, it seems like what they figured out is as long as we just make it people that the average person doesn't see on a regular basis,
yep,
we can dehumanize the fuck out of them.
Oh yeah.
So you get, trans people, which are barely not even 1% of the population. You get prisoners, you get immigrants being it just so happens all these people that you don't ever see. Also Antifa, they're evil. They're bad. Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jay, let me clarify. Let me clarify, Jay, that the argument he's making is not that slaves can be your property, but you can't sell them. You can sell slaves and you can buy slaves from other people. It's just that you cannot
take slaves of free people.
Yeah, you cannot go to another country and kidnap people and bring them to your country and make them your slaves if they're already in your country and they're already.
For those that aren't aware, the original cops of America, the original police forces, were slave catchers. So, but that's different because they were slaves that had already been captured and then they got out. And it's like we can't allow that. We got to create some kind of force to chase them down. So,
yeah. And what I found weird about the whole video of Joshua Hames is like he brings on a guest. He has a monologue.
You guys, I didn't know how much we should watch. I didn't want to platform.
Oh, we shouldn't watch.
We shouldn't watch anymore. Yeah, we've seen what you need to see. Everything else is just
that's what
excuse making.
I will say, like the thing he says, because this touches back to what one of you mentioned something before. I forget who about Christianity. But the very next thing he says after the clip you just played is that Bible believing Christians should be able to confidently affirm everything I just said.
Yeah.
And yet through the rest of the video, you can tell that he knows slavery is wrong and he believes slavery is wrong. It kind of just comes through, and his guest that he brings on. So they're engaging in this weird cope where you can tell that they, like all of us, know that slavery is wrong. And they know that the Bible is wrong on this issue, but they can't bring themselves to accept that because they are part of this weird right-wing cult of, so-called Bible believing Christians. So what they're doing instead is trying to rationalize a practice that they say they don't ever want to see it practiced. They say we're not advocating for bringing back the slave trade. The slave trade is gone and us white Christians abolished it. Aren't we great? But if it were to come back, it wouldn't necessarily be sinful.
Yeah, you got to ask yourself, what is the point of talking about it then?
Yeah.
What is the point of saying what he's saying about it?
Right. It's hedging, right? It's this classic. We see this with every other issue, right? It's this like we see this with all the right wingers, especially before it became back in vogue to hate gay people so much. But like I don't have a problem with gay marriage, but I don't want the government to endorse it. I don't want to see it in books. I don't want to see it on TV, right? It's like, well, you are saying two unrelated things. Those two things don't exist in the same reality. Because if you were fine with it, then none of those things would bother you. So you're not fine with it. So what this pastor is saying is that slavery is fine. And then pretends that it's good that they got rid of it, but you should, as a Christian virtue is to defend the institution of slavery in a biblical sense. That is what he is proposing.
He doesn't, I would say based on what I saw, he doesn't quite go that far. He comes up to the edge. What he says is that if hypothetically we were to find a way to bring back the slave trade that didn't involve kidnapping people from other countries, Christians should not necessarily object to that.
Right.
We're better off without it. Yeah. We're better off without it. But if it were to come back, would it really be that bad? That's where he's kind of at.
That's where,
so he's not outright advocating for bringing back the slave trade. He's just like, as Shivani said in chat, laying the groundwork.
Right.
They're testing the waters to see what talking points are going to stick. And
they will
so like the
workshop
question to
it.
ask people like this is, like, I was listening to this and I was like, okay, how much do you cost, buddy?
Right. What's the?
Yeah.
What about? How can I get, how
I'm
much
no
can I get
spring
for?
chicken anymore. I could use some help around the yard. You know, you look
Right.
young and you know, you're a strapping young buck. How much do you cost?
Right.
I don't know.
And then you will quickly find that they are imagining themselves as the one with the whip and not the one
Yes.
in the chains.
I
When they
can't
talk
believe
about this.
I can't believe that. That's such a shock to me. But just so anybody knows, that's, you know, any government official, anything's watching and like, hey, these people are being anti-Christian. We are not being anti-Christian. I actually think that there's another Christian who I greatly admire, who I believe this guy should maybe meet. And that is Daredevil. Here is in the official next season of the show costume, which looked pretty fucking
Right in
awesome.
the black costume.
That is a sick costume. That's awesome. That is not where I thought you were going to go with this, though. But well played, sir.
Well
Tell me
played.
later. But yeah, I think they should just like let Daredevil meet that guy, be in a room with him for a little bit, maybe. You know what I'm saying? They'd probably get along.
I have a sneaking suspicion that Matt there would have some things to say about slavery.
Yeah, it'd be a little bit more red on that costume, probably. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to do a quick palate cleanser after all those. We talked about.
Yeah,
all
it's
the
kind of
work.
heavy.
Also, all of the Channel Awesome movies have higher review ratings on IMDb than Rogue Elements by Critical Drinker.
Rouge Elements. Okay.
So, you know, if you've ever seen, I mean, I've never seen a full one of those, but I've seen clips to know they're pretty, to use a term I used to use back in the day, garbaceous. So, yeah. Good job, Critical Drinker. Yeah, that's true. He is evil like that. Or, you know.
Well, yeah, and I the day we're already seeing this with, like, you know, how itchy some of the evangelicals have gotten around Mormons lately since the Charlie Kirk killing.
Yeah. I mean, there was a Mormon attack right after that.
Yeah.
Or was that before?
It was after, yeah.
It was after. It was right after, yeah, a couple weeks.
They're going to get itchy about the Catholics, too.
They're going to get itchy about the Catholics, too, especially with how the Pope is.
Yeah.
Especially because it's an American Pope, right? Like,
We didn't discuss that. I mean, I don't know if we'll see if it becomes more of an issue or something, but basically what was it, the DEI thing? They got rid of
Opus Dei?
Yeah, Opus DEI.
Opus DEI.
Yeah, Opus DEI. That's I'm going to look into that more. Thank you for reminding me, because it looks like they're not really doing away with it. They're kind of like,
so yeah,
they're breaking it up into different organizations, so it's not really going to go away. They're not kicking any of them out of the church or anything like that.
Right. No one excommunicated over this. What I think what it was, if I'm recalling correctly, because it's been a few weeks since I looked at it, is that Opus Dei was actually kind of two organizations, a lay organization and the church organization. And they are making the lay organization change their name and have different people who aren't the church people, and kind of separating those two a little more. So we'll see.
I believe he's Chicago.
Yeah, he's from Chicago.
So it's not doing, hey, he's Pope in here. It's more like duh Pope.
Duh Pope.
Duh Pope.
But fine, you know what? I will say this about Pope Leo. I appreciate that we have a Pope who finally understands what a good hot dog is.
And a good deep dish pizza.
You guys know who Andrew Wilson is?
I do know who Andrew Wilson is.
On Friday, but I mean, I want to show the shorter version because it's funnier. On Friday, I showed this is not from any kind of recent thing that I'm aware of, but apparently he has some kind of stupid debate show where he seems to almost exclusively bring on women to debate, quote unquote debate. One clip I saw the other day was of a woman trying to add context to something that he had said, and him just kind of talking over her until the point. Well, basically, she needed to take a break for some health issue that she has, and he was like, fucking just wouldn't shut up and was steamrolling her because of that, and blah blah. And it's like she ended up leaving. Of course, he's talking shit. He's a big piece of shit. If you used to watch Vosh back in the day, he was somebody that Vosh debated once, and
he recently debated John Fugelsang.
I should watch that.
Here he is. And a lot of what he debates, by the way, is feminism being garbage and bad, and that women need men, and men can do things women can't do, and so on. Here he is opening a pickle jar.
I'm supposed to open the pickle jar? I gotta grip it.
Uh-oh, Andrew. If you can't open it either.
Your hand greased the whole top of it.
Doing a little bit of a high-key racism in the process because she tried it first. So it's like, you greased the top of it. And she's like, it was already like that. And he goes, no, it wasn't. You greased it.
Wow.
This must be an old clip because he doesn't look like this anymore.
Literally slippery.
Sorry,
I'm supposed to open the pickle jar?
Another opportunity.
Skillish.
Grab me a paper towel so I can dry the top of it off.
You're the big, strong man. There you go. Come on.
I can't grip the fucker. Like, I gotta have a way to grip it. I gotta grip it. Try it. You fucker.
Beautiful.
Just beta. Beta.
These people are never.
Beta male, not an alpha male.
By the way, Adam Freeland, I guess, recently went on. I forgot the guy existed still, but went on Jesse Lee Peterson's show. And was like, Adam Freeland is one of the other guys that was in Come Town along with Stavros and I guess I forget the other guy's name. But he does this interview show now that's kind of chaotic, but he does a pretty good job. And he went on there and Jesse Lee Peterson's like asking a stupid Jesse Lee Peterson questions like, so do you think it's okay to laugh at Jewish jokes if you're not Jewish? And he's like, I don't know, what do you mean by that? What is a Jewish joke? And he's like, he wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't answer it at first. He's like, well, do you think it's okay to laugh? And he's like, no, tell me. I want to hear from you, man. What is a Jewish joke? And he finally goes, oh, Jews like money. Adam Friedman was just like, oh, but there's no punchline. There's no setup. It's just, he's like, okay,
it's just a stereotype.
He goes, Jews got big nose. And he's like, oh, okay. It's just like letting him fucking expose himself. It's fucking hilarious.
I've seen that clip, I think. It rings a bell.
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
It's an old clip, but it checks out.
It's an older clip, but it checks out.
Like, I don't know. What did he serve his purpose and now they're done with him? Is he just
probably, yeah.
Okay. Because I don't see him bandied about. Of course, he was caught like doing, I guess, some gay stuff or whatever, doing some gay stuff.
Yeah. You know what's weird is that they get caught doing pedonomicon shit.
Mm-hmm.
They're all fine with that. They get caught doing gay stuff right the fuck out.
Yep.
Just,
I think Jesse Lee Peterson got caught doing gay stuff.
That's what I'm saying. He got caught.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is they got rid of it. They cut him off because he got caught doing gay stuff.
He was sexually harassing men, I believe is what it was.
Yeah.
See, that's
Andrew Wilson.
If that man had been a 12-year-old boy, they'd be fine.
They'd have been like, you know what? Well, you know what? Actually, because of the fact that he's a black guy, there's also that standard that they
yeah, that's
might
true.
not be cool with you because of that.
It would depend on because they have a
but
weird.
You know what I mean? I think the thing with Jesse Peterson was because he just was such a meme. He's like a living meme that was at the beginning stages of normalization, right? So like that was more like we're okay with this is a guy that's good for our purposes right now because he's just kind of memeing things into existence.
Right.
Yeah. Then once we got past the meme stage of normalization, they're like, we don't, whatever. So it's like he kind of lived his usefulness anyway. But yeah.
Well, Andrew Wilson is another funny character to keep your eye on because he doesn't have a beard anymore. He has short hair now, and he has on his show now. He has this thing where he just smokes, and you can always tell. Apparently, it's a tell that when he starts smoking, he doesn't really have an answer for anything.
Oh, I remember when I remember him debating Vosh, he was smoking the entire time, meaning like he was chain smoking butt to butt, which is disgusting.
Yeah.
On top of smoking.
Yeah, that's like one of his flexes. But there's a great clip going around of him and John Fugelsang and some other lady from the Daily Wire on the Piers Morgan show. And this is a recent thing. And John Fugelsang is on a book tour for his new book, Separation of Church and Hate.
It's a pretty good book.
And he like shuts both of them down by just giving him a challenge that's really funny to watch, which is name me a single gospel teaching of Jesus Christ that Donald Trump actually fights for, chapter and verse, please.
Yeah.
They cannot.
And neither of them can do it. It's really funny to watch them like try to circle around and rhetorically like insult John Fugelsang and all this other stuff. And he just keeps asking the question. It's really funny.
They cannot. They have
He
no.
might. I mean, honestly, kind of, maybe that. Maybe he just strikes me as definitely probably didn't get a very good education at all. And then, I don't know. It's irrelevant. He's pushes enough evil that I don't have any problem criticizing the guy. But he doesn't have a very large platform. It seems like anymore.
Not anymore.
So
No, it's been taken over by Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes got his audience.
yeah, we're gonna have to do this next week, I think, because
Okay.
it's more of a discussion than as we have time for. I'm gonna have to be done here soon. Before we do that, though, I wanted to address a couple of chud things. First of all, Quarter Black Garrett did blackface for Halloween, and he has been roundly ratioed on the Nazi platform on Twitter by Eric Bunks for this post of him in blackface. Literally do it just a minstrel blackface, like an old school minstrel makeup thing.
Like
it's full Sambo. He went full Sambo. It's disgusting.
And as if anybody wasn't aware of this, the reason why he calls himself Quarter Black Garrett, he claims he is a quarter black. Maybe he is, maybe he's not. But the reason he calls himself that is, as is seen in the replies of that post, where he just uses as an excuse to be racist.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. And he did this on the Friday Night Tights live stream over on their
cool. Channel. Which I'm sure Google jumped on taking down, right?
Sure.
Of course,
as well as the host, Erotic, did this.
Yeah.
So, cool, man. And once again, this is how these people are grifters as well as racist. Is it like, yeah, it's done in such a way that what his excuse is for not being offensive if you accused him of anything. He'd be like, no, I'm just wearing his makeup or whatever. And it's like, okay, man, yeah.
Okay, got it.
That's very clearly a mask molded on Eddie Gathegi's face.
Yeah,
I can tell that's Eddie Gathegi's face there.
Seems like it.
But yeah, so this is
then
Nerdrotic
the wig as well. Is also, the wig kind of says a lot too.
Yeah, I was going to say this is Nerdrotic doing blackface without doing blackface.
Right.
Mm-hmm. This is a benefit of the doubt blackface.
It's store-bought.
And it's like, man, you guys gotta wait. You did the benefit of the doubt thing, and you got so used to it, I guess, that you don't realize that you don't have to do that anymore. You can just be openly racist now.
Yeah. Do you have an image of a Quarter Black Garrett?
I don't have that.
Just to show people. Oh,
I can grab it.
Because now watch, this stream is going to get demonetized showing things from their stream.
Maybe. I don't think so, but
just to show that they're actually still being deranged about Charlie Kirk as well, is real quick.
Cool.
So here is a post of some math teachers at some school somewhere, and they're all wearing this bloody. It's not really, but this is how a shirt's made. Bloody shirt that says "Problem solved," and they're like, "Oh my God, they're doing this, because of Charlie Kirk. Clearly, obviously, that's why they're doing it, because they're stuck in their algorithm silo, so they think everything's about Charlie Kirk."
It's a physics experiment.
However, it's one of these situations.
Oh my God, it's even worse than that.
I actually love this metaphor because it's a fake target. You put yourself there yourself. But yeah, the thing is, they've been doing this for years, and they responded to it and said, "Hey, look, we did this last year," which, believe it or not, was before Charlie Kirk died.
Yeah, so it turns out
about Charlie Kirk. The joke being that math is hard. That's really all the shirt is. Math is super hard, and for Halloween they go, we'll be a little edgy with it, say that we had to spill some blood to solve some math problems.
Yeah, and didn't they do the same thing last year?
Yeah, they've done a few years. And the shirt is also listed as being for sale since way prior to Charlie Kirk's death. Has nothing to do with Charlie Kirk, and So this is them doxing, trying to, or at least using public information to target math teachers in some school
who tell the same dumb joke every year for Halloween.
Yep, these are just teachers trying to make their school life a little bit more fun, and probably the kids thought it was funny. I think it's a high school, so I'm certain
that's high school kids love that shit.
Yeah.
It's dumb. They'll laugh at it. I think it's cringe, but they'll get their giggle out of it.
Here's the shirt, which has been listed for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, it's cringe to us because we know they did it last year, but the new students don't. To them, it's a fresh joke. So it's just like stand-ups tell the same joke on tour everywhere they go.
Right.
That audience only hears it once, at least in theory.
The groupie hears it every time, and by the end of it, he's sick of it.
I mean, I hope SK. Never mind, I'm not going to make any comments. I don't want to do that. But yeah, other than that,
Remind me
here's
who SK is.
I'll tell you about him later. Yeah, he's not.
Okay.
You know, he's
No one of consequence.
generally, he's on the side that we would prefer people to be on, but you know, and yeah, he's
Okay, I know who he is now.
come
Yeah.
at me over some weird shit before. So Eric July.
Oh boy.
Entertainment is in a very interesting place right now. Out of convenience, many industries went all in on digital distribution. But with the rise of AI and the increasing volatility of digital platforms and unreliability, I'm seeing more and more independent creators shift toward physical products, and understandably so. I just watched a video where musicians said he wouldn't release his next album or any streaming service. That mindset is becoming more common. You mean the way things have been for the longest time, and now like people are recognizing? I don't know. I don't know what he's saying here, but I don't know if he's like trying to preface changing to a physical Rippaverse thing, which, you know, I don't think you, I mean, I'm sorry. He's what? No, what he's doing. Sorry. What he's doing is trying to say that he's ahead of the curve by only releasing physical media.
Okay.
And then at the bottom, I just want to say real quick, at the bottom, he says something interesting. He says, most people are starting to understand that a smaller, loyal customer base is far more sustainable than going after the lowest common denominator. This is a market adjustment. And it's like, oh, so he's suggesting he's been doing it right, I guess. Is that what it is? Okay. Because when you look at his community, I just want to point this out. I've pointed out before, but like, man, he's got one guy holding it down.
The one guy in the Discord and the
yeah, I'm going to the Reddit. Braxcast right here up the top, man. Go Braxcast.
Let's share that out.
Go Braxcast. Fucking holding it down.
What a guy. And
Braxcast. Braxcast.
Does Braxcast cover anything else?
No, just strictly Rippaverse stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
He's got a fan. I'm happy for him.
Like, and then, you know, it's well.
Oops. Well. Disappointment. So yeah, I guess with the Eric July, like, okay, sure, all right, cool. That's just my reaction. It's just like, all right, yeah, you in some ways, yes, you were ahead of the like, boy, if we just have digital distribution, our stuff has less value. And yeah, okay, sure, cool. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Have fun. I don't care.
Point out that this is absolutely the fucking like one of the death blows to Eric July that I'm so happy to see it all the time now. Amazing.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere. Like I don't think a post goes by somewhere without this coming up.
So good. Anyway, yeah, Braxcast. I'm holding the line. Where's everybody at? Come on, guys. Come on. Come be on my show. Eric's like, no, okay.
Everyone else went home.
Because if he does that on the Showcast before, if you know Eric debunks is like, why doesn't he ever like go on that guy's? He's like, because then he would highlight the fact that there's just one, there's just the one guy, and that nobody's watching it. Anyway, sorry, Bob, were you gonna say something?
I was gonna say what you just said.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna pop this one up, but I think so by not putting his shit in stores, so yeah, it's not. That's sort of the line. What he's saying is that like it's all his own internal distribution. Like he's not getting his books put in comic stores, much less like any mass media bookstore, right? He's just like, you have to buy from me. He wants all of it. He doesn't understand that like to grow your market, you have to grow.
Yeah, I mean, neither one would surprise me. Honestly, it's the same thing as the question of Rippaverse Goalposts, who is now seemingly just gone from the face of the earth.
Weird how like that
it's hard
guy
to
just
don't know
which
views honestly.
How many views does Braxcast get?
Oh, not that many, like a couple dozen maybe. I think I can check real quick.
Wow.
Yeah, but this post is a month old. Nobody's taking it down or anything. So that one, this is a dead ass. So here's a month-old Braxcast going to that, and it says it's a 36-minute, 52 view podcast.
Wow.
Good for him.
You know, holding it down, man. Honestly.
You know what? If he likes it and he's enjoying it, more power to him. I don't
yeah,
care.
I mean,
I'm just like, all right, bro. You do you, man.
Seemingly not harming anything. However, but then I will note the name of his channel, which this is another reason why I think that nobody actually really gives a shit about Eric July as like just like we love what he's putting out. It's because there's
a persona reference.
They think that they're publishing is the thing I'm pointing out.
Oh, sure.
They all think of themselves as entrepreneurs and comic book publishers as well. So like that's the kind of an audience that he's developed that's even left is people that, you know, are just trying to promote themselves. And that's another reason I imagine Eric won't promote other people's shit because he knows that's what his audience is full of. Yeah.
Well, you know what they could do is they could come together and work together and like push their stuff together as a company and then share resources to grow what they're, because they all seem to want to do the same thing. So if they, you know, unless they were some sort of weird like snake oil salesman who was trying to like sell a bunch of shit that isn't real or worth anything, and they don't want to compete with other people doing that, then you would want to keep your businesses separate because that guy also selling fake shit is fake. But if you all wanted to make indie comics together, you would come together and pool your resources and then do that. Huh, weird.
Well, I mean, I hate to... Never mind, I'm not even going to mention that guy. Forget it.
Yeah, let's not.
Yeah, they should just merge with Geeks and Gamers, right?
Oh
like,
my God.
The Rippaverse can be the comic book arm of their propaganda wing, and then they can all just cover their shit all the time. You'll notice that none of them really did that. None of Eric July's good friends that he's always hanging out with and talking to, they didn't really... They mentioned the Rippaverse sometimes, but like they didn't do big reviews of it and promote it and stuff like that.
Well, part of that is probably because it's not very good.
Yeah.
Because like it's entirely like, you know, we talked about it before. There are writers and artists and creators who are right wing, who do good creative work. That's just not Eric July. And that's fine. Like I can't write a comic book either.
Yeah. I've mentioned that in a couple of my videos too, how like specifically with regard to the upcoming Pendragon Cycle show.
Yeah.
But Eric July is making the same mistake that Ben Shapiro is making, which is where he mistakenly believes that it's not possible for people with conservative political or religious beliefs to flourish in the already existing entertainment ecosystem. And that simply isn't true. If you make good stuff and you put it where people already go to find new stuff, it will find an audience.
I mean, if you want like
the example,
oh, go ahead.
The example I always use is the TV show The Chosen, which is, the last time I checked, one of, if not the most streamed television show in the entire world. It's a TV drama about the apostles as they follow Jesus around the Holy Land.
Wonder how
and
that
Jesus
story
is not the main character, etc., etc. But
so I have
the guy that makes makes that show is a politically conservative evangelical Christian, but the show itself is really good, and it's made with a cast and crew of people who have not had to make a loyalty pledge to his political or religious ideology. They're just people who are good at their jobs, and he has a distribution deal with Amazon and many other platforming things. So as a result of making a quality product that people like to watch and putting it where people already go to find new stuff, they have launched an entire cinematic universe around this guy's show.
Right.
And Daily Wire and Eric July could, if they had real talent, do the same thing. But the problem is they don't have any talent.
Right. And
so
even
they have to create this fiction in their head that they're being locked out for their beliefs and not for their lack of talent.
Yeah. Even things that are, and this is sort of I want to set a bar here because like I think The Chosen is a good like high bar. A low bar, look at all the propaganda shows, right?
Yeah.
There's so many cop shows, and those are inherently conservative.
Yeah. The
And
production
there's
company that makes NCIS and that whole family of shows is run by a conservative Republican.
Yeah. And that's not like high art. It's not the quality of art that I would say The Chosen is, but like it's that's the minimum bar, right? Is that like you can get that high, you can do that sort of like photocopier cop show because they're all kind of the same show with the same stories over and over again. And that works well for your syndicated TV all the time for decades. You can't hit that bar. is the
and look at all the
problem.
the conservative celebrities like Sly Stallone, Chris Pratt, Clint Eastwood. I mean, Mel Gibson, whatever you think of him personally, actually is a pretty talented director. They work within the system that already exists, and they're doing fine.
Yeah. And part of it is you can be conservative without being a weirdo.
Yeah. Well, you can you can be a weirdo in Hollywood too.
That's true. Yeah.
You used to be able to be that. Now, in order to be a conservative, you have to be MAGA.
Well, I think to be welcome in the conservative movement, you have to be MAGA. But I think
Sly Stallone is MAGA. At least he is now. Mel Gibson is MAGA. Chris Pratt.
Sly Stallone's pretty private. Like he doesn't really, put himself out there much.
Chris Pratt is almost certainly MAGA, but they're also talented people,
right?
And they know how to finesse the system that already exists to be successful at what they want to do.
I've got an update here on that T-shirt thing just now.
Oh,
okay.
I was not aware of.
Have you guys heard the story and seen the pictures of these math teachers wearing these bloody shirts that say "Problem Solved"? Well, a moron at Turning Point USA posted a tweet making the claim that these teachers were mocking the murder of Charlie Kirk. Without doing any research, all the right-wing buffoon grifters out there, like Riley Gaines, for example, Mike Lee, Benny Johnson, and even Ron DeSantis, the governor.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the last Expendables movie bombed at the box office. So, I mean, it's not like that was a hot IP anyway. But
oops, a little late.
Yeah.
Of Florida, were retweeting this and attacking these teachers and doxing them. Well, long story short, it turns out that these math teachers, the shirts that they were wearing were basically Halloween costumes, the same costumes that they wore last year. There's evidence of that with pictures everywhere. It had absolutely zero and nothing to do with Charlie Kirk. And what makes this situation even worse, and I talk about this on my radio show every day, is that they never retract and they never apologize. Riley Gaines' tweet is still up. Benny Johnson's tweet is still up.
I mean, I would never expect Riley Gaines to fucking apologize for being wrong or lying or anything. Jesus Christ,
I mean, she's not even the 5th place best liar.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say there's about 5 people in line ahead of her that she's waiting for them to apologize.
On that one.
We're all on the same brainwave there.
Ron DeSantis' tweet still up. Did they apologize? Did they say, gosh, this was misinformation. I got it wrong. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have rushed to judgment. No, they keep it up.
Okay, maybe this is a little bit, I don't know, it's 4 minutes. I was thinking
we hit the point.
Update, but
they did it with the terrorist attack in New Orleans. They do it every single time. And they never retract. They never apologize. The governor of Florida is doxing these teachers. This is not funny. They're putting all these teachers at risk. Let me tell you something. I hope every single one of
I will say that, using the term doxing willy-nilly like this is not the best idea because it does, I mean, of course, it's already basically a dead word the way that Chuds have used it, but it's not doxing. I mean, the information is public, but what it is it's putting a target on people for sure.
I would say that, like, to me, it's like we're within the fringes of what I consider acceptable use, where you have a public figure. We don't have a good word for when a group of public figures targets a group of non-public figures who have publicly available information to spread misinformation about them.
Yeah, it's
so
telling
doxing has
people who
become
to dox.
that. Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta get going out of here. I did want to. I haven't listened to this yet, but apparently it's like a song called "The Big Scary Radical Left Agenda."
Oh, cool.
I think it's AI.
They're coming for your freedom, folks. They're on the march again, armed with books and nurses and a right to vote for them. They'll teach your kids to read and think. The madness never ends. Next thing you know, they'll want clean air and water for their friends. Oh, the big, scary, radical left
I don't think it is AI. I think it's definitely got some computer enhancement going on with might be AI voice type thing, but like it's not written by AI because, as I found listening to various AI songs that are uploaded, AI doesn't do crescendos very well or at all.
Oh.
It doesn't know, because that's a human feeling to go to know when you're writing a song and go, I should build up right here, and AI just doesn't do that.
That's good to know. 'Cause I was worried about this channel. This is the channel The Resistance, right?
Yeah.
I was worried about them for that reason. So that's good to know.
Lock your doors, it's education they'll send ya. Hide your heart from equality splendor. It's kindness, not chaos, that's out to offend ya.
All right. Probably should listen to that before I decided to show it. But yeah, that's our show. We did all the things.
Did all the things.
Except for Nick Fuentes, but you know,
we don't want to do Nick Fuentes anyways. He's gross.
Yeah, the nobody does. Literally nobody does. Except for I guess that cat boy that one time. But that's another
Destiny,
show.
Apparently.
And Destiny apparently. Oh god. Well, I mean, from what I've seen, apparently Destiny expresses regret for you know, ever doing the period of content that he did with Nick Fuentes, because he thought that, you know, same thing as what old Alec Gunter has been making a mistake about. He thought he could just, like, I don't know, figure out some bridge between, you know, normal people and fascism, which you know, historically just doesn't work, man. Doesn't work.
Yeah,
I appreciate their optimism. I don't have much other than that.
You can't be, you know, fascists don't have real friends. I've got a song about that, and I was thinking about getting everybody to maybe be part of it. I don't know how to do that exactly, except maybe
I don't know.
Put this a version of the song out as it is, and let people hear the hook, and then get people to send in themselves just kind of singing the hook.
Sure.
You know, so it could be like me with friends singing a song.
Aw, that's cute.
But yeah,
I have friends, guys. I really do.
I really have friends. They don't live near me or anything. They live in Canada. But
I think most of us live. I mean, some of us live. You know, Wisconsin's kind of. We wish we were Canada some days.
Yeah. So, and also just as an update, I did not release my album on Halloween because, surprise, it was not finished because it's just me working on it. And apparently you can't put out a hard deadline like that when you're the only person working on something and you got a family and stuff.
Yeah. I've been told the best strategy is to have the work almost like
done,
95% done or completely done before you give a firm date.
If I gave myself a deadline, that I would focus on it more. It seemed like, honestly, the more I focused on it, the more things came up that didn't allow me to focus on it.
I know that feeling.
So yeah, yeah, probably next week we'll be doing maybe we'll talk about Nick Fuentes if he's lucky. Bastard. He you know, the discussion kind of being whether or not he's worth talking about very much, really.
Well, I think the discussion is more of like, what does it mean that this machine, that this right-wing machine, has put him back into a position worth talking about?
Yeah. Well, we'll cover that next time.
Oh man,
we don't want to start a whole discussion.
Like, this is a fun one to go out on. You remember Sweet Baby Inc. and the guy that started that Sweet Baby Inc. A detected website or whatever?
Do I have to?
Yeah, because his name was Cabrutus. And one of the things we found out about him, one, is that he had not played any of the games that he decided were woke.
Sure, of course, yeah.
Two, he did a video where he went to Japan to talk to people about the Assassin's Creed game that had a black guy in it.
Oh, I remember this, yeah.
And literally no Japanese person would even give him, like, he was baiting them really hard on, like, just say it's bad or something. Like, none of them would do it. They were like, oh, it sounds pretty cool. You know,
because he's like a folk hero there, right? Like, that's like a mythological. He was a real person, but there's a real mythology around him there.
And then but recently he did another one. He just admits here that he's triggered by women's voices and stuff because of his mom or something like that. You know, it reminds me of
my ex-girlfriends.
Sometimes my mom even yelling at me.
What is he referring to?
Something in a game about a woman's voice or something. I don't remember exactly the context, but a game and a military shooter, when he hears a woman, basically, it completely kills the version. It reminds me of my mom.
It's probably a female CO voice,
yeah,
like giving you orders. Yeah,
giving him orders.
You know what? if the games are going to bother you that much, brother, here's what my suggestion is: save the money from the games and get a fucking therapist.
Yeah. Hey, don't fucking put that curse on me. Come on now, Jay. Shit.
Oh damn. Well, no. Jay is actually giving you a blessing.
Okay, look.
No, let me walk through it. Let me walk through it. Okay. What that means is that you're not going to come out with this album, because HBO is going to buy the license rights for the album for someone else to do a cover for a soundtrack for one of their shows. So you can just
7 of
the
these are
royalties for
completed.
that.
7 of these are done. Like, and the other ones just have like a little bit of work to do on them.
Yeah, sure, whatever. But HBO can, have them and have someone else cover them, and then you make all the royalties, and then you don't have to worry about it.
I mean, 7 of I think 7 or 6 of George R.R. Martin's books are done. He just has one more
that's
to
not
work
even
on.
y'all are fucking fucked, man. Y'all are all right. I'm getting out of here. In fact, I'm gonna
Get
play
out
it
of here, boss.
on the way out of here. So I will make these available. I'll let you know when and where. I think I might just start releasing them one at a time, uploading them or something. And then you guys are lovely. It won't be on Spotify. We're boycotting Spotify. There, I did it for you,
You
Bob.
can put it on Spotify. Yeah, just
No,
don't.
I'm boycotting that motherfucker. I mean, it's done. I already did. It's done.
All right.
Because you're right. So
when you're right, you're right.
Well, the boycott.
I don't know what
is for-
happened. I was busy. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I spoke out of place on it last time.
No, you're
but
fine.
the boycott is for Spotify memberships, not for artists putting their art on Spotify.
Well, I mean, that's contributing to the platform in general. So yeah, I'm just not going to put it on there, at least for the time being, because I mean, it will put it on. It'll be distributed on other platforms, so that's fine. Yeah. All right. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Subscribe to Bob the Old Way. Subscribe to other folks.
Yes.
They're maybe in the description. I forget if I put them there. Nonetheless, check in Tuesday. I think I'm going to do a stream to see what happens with Zoltar Rob Zombie.
Okay, so y'all have to explain to me where that came from.
Bob said it, and I just said it too. That's it.
Okay, all right.
I got
So
it
it's just
from an SNL skit.
Okay.
The SNL cold open this week was a mock debate, and one of the jokes was none of his opponents would say Zoran Mamdani's name correctly, and one of the names they called him was Zoltar Rob Zombie.
See, I'm not old enough to watch SNL.
Oh,
I just saw the clip on YouTube.
Likely
I didn't watch the
story.
whole show.
Sure, I believe you.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good one, and take care of stuff and whatnot. And hopefully, if you're affected by the shutdown, I don't know, my thoughts and prayers. No, that seems heartless. I'm thinking about you. All right.
Look for resources in your area. Reach out. People help each other in these times.
211.
Yeah. Churches, especially the liberal Protestant churches, food banks. And if you live in a big enough area, the Democratic Socialists of America can put you in touch with some mutual aid networks.
Yeah.
Word. All right. Yep. And have a good one, folks.
Praise Bill.
I declare this FAP-worthy. Strange, heavy-handed.
stop, because if they're going after 3-year-olds, you think you're all fucking safe? You are fucked, my friends. If we don't put a stop to this right the fuck now.
Behold the serpent, beware the oldest lie. Begrudge our brother for existing on the wrong side of an imaginary line. Between two worlds, belligerent in the name of the tribe. I beseech you to believe in more than the light reflecting off of these shells we occupy. Because the truth is, we're all the same beneath the surface. We all wanna find our way and find our purpose. We're all the same. We carry our own burdens. We all never cross to bear, and we hope the way is worth it. Believer of the line, be gone from me and mine. Be ready to fight and bleed. Become the truth that they despise. Because they only seek to divide. With better that besets us on all sides. Yeah, they say, beware the bestial horde. Best believe they'll besiege your lands and come for you and yours. That's a lie. You're all the same beneath the surface. We all wanna find our way and find our purpose. We're all the same. We carry our own burdens. We all never cross to bear. We hope the way is worth it. Cross to bear, but only cowards wanna burn it. Only cowards wanna burn it. We all have a cross to bear, but only cowards wanna burn it. We love, we sing, we dream, we try, find our purpose. Yeah, slide.